Hello guys, welcome to Players Guild, to the upper left arm club.
The upper left card club. Card club? Nope,
Club?
that I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
doing with that.
okay.
Go and watch our Battle Spirits videos. That's what that makes sense. But we're here with Dragon Ball Zenkai Series 3. It's
And
finally
Cumber
happening.
making a show up.
Prison Planet finally here. We got the secret rare in Z2, which kind of set the scale of where they were going. Still no end of the previous arc, which I'm guessing we'll get at some point because we
Anniversary
still need
box?
Trunks and Mechikabura with their final forms. Well, Trunks just gets a new sword, but still,
I mean,
I want
Mechikabura's
it.
final form should be the Z leader, right?
It's got to be right. So whenever we get that is whenever we get that. But we are moving on to future pastures. A lot of interesting things happen in Prison Planet. We get a big introduction to Fu and what he's like as a character.
And his origin as
Um,
well, wasn't it?
Pardon?
His origin was also in the Prison
His
Planet.
origin is technically the end of the Dark Demon Realm saga because Toa has a baby and then she's like, through a portal with you, child.
Mm.
Um,
But I think they
but
also
yeah.
showed that in the Prison Planet, because that's how I learned about that. Because I also
Oh, okay.
linked the Prison Planet.
Um, and then they've got, like we say, Cumber, and we've got some plenty of other characters. But what we do here is we break down the color, go over our initial thoughts, what we think of it, and yeah, just generally say if we like it or we don't like it. That's the format. We've got all of black now.
Yes,
So without
it
further
is a
ado,
bit annoying that they do 2 cards a day.
it is,
Because it's
yeah.
not enough to make a video of 1 day reveals.
No, it's not.
And then
But
just trying to get them all together in one place is just
yeah, it's a nightmare. But we're here now. So without further ado, let's talk about Evil Saiyan. He is a Saiyan and he is from the Prison Planet saga. When this card is placed in your lead area, activate up to one Prison Planet from your deck. When this card attacks, draw a card. Awaken when your life is 4 or less, or when you have 2 or more energy while you have a Fu Z battle card in play. Draw one card, switch up to one energy to active, and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left. So a fairly standard awaken skill.
it's definitely so we already know this is a bit of a spoiler. Fuzi battle card costs 1. So we
Mm-hmm.
know that you are able to awaken on turn 2.
Yeah.
Which we have seen a lot of a lot of the leaders depending on the Z deck being able to consistently awaken on turn 2, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I wanted to point out, we had a lot of cards that were support for Black Saiyan only leader,
Mm-hmm.
and we have another Black Saiyan only leader.
That is true. So yeah, and then we'll go over Prison Planet when we get it. But I think this was what we all kind of figured would happen. To be fair, I thought it was going to be a Fu leader that we got this with, and we still might, to be fair, have a similar effect with Fu if we get a Fu leader. But yeah, starting with your Prison Planet in play, and of course, just the nice when you attack draw card. Nothing special, but it's not a bad auto to have.
So when we've seen this leader, a lot of comments were the same, right? It depends what the Prison Planet does. They
Yeah,
waited, I think, additional 3 days before they showed it.
yeah, it took a long time to reveal it. Hopefully in future when when there's field cards, they get revealed
With the
if
leader.
not alongside the leader, at least a day after, just so everyone can kind
I
of
mean,
get
we just
a gist.
started with a brand new leader today, because spoilers, we're recording this on the day of the yellow reveals.
Yeah.
And we just started with a leader that has a field card there.
Well, we think it's a field card. I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
almost
come
certain
on.
it's a field
No,
card.
it says activate.
Yeah, true.
Not play, activate, which is an extra card.
Yeah.
So
So
it is going to be a field card because it stays in the battle
so
area.
whenever we see Spirit Bomb is, I guess, whenever we see Spirit Bomb.
I mean,
But
also
yeah, so
unawakened leader with 20k power, but that's not what we're talking about
that's
here.
not what we're talking about today. So awakening into Cumber, maddening force. So he's now Cumber. He starts as Evil Saiyan, he becomes Cumber. Also, once per turn when this card attacks, draw one. So he actually doesn't have it as a once per turn on his unawakened side. Don't know if that's going to play into anything in the future. And then activate main, choose once per turn, choose up to one card you earn in your opponent's battle area, and it gains 7 until the end of your opponent's next turn.
So, what does it do? Servant, it's a keyword. It's a continuous permanent keyword that gives a battle card 10,000 power, but it cannot be switched to active mode
Mm-hmm.
at the start of your turn. What it does, it essentially keeps a battle card without barrier rested, and that's important. Even though it's a card you own, it's in your opponent's battle area, and the way barrier works is it's a permanent skill that says your opponent can't choose this card.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if it's in your opponent's battle area, you are the opponent to the battle card.
Yeah.
Which means you can't choose a card with barrier, because there was a whole thing with a Vegeta rebuild also at the same time as the Prison Planet.
So yeah, so again standard, but I mean, to be fair, this is pretty nice because of how the deck plays. But we'll get into Prison Planet itself, which kind of is the crux of the whole.
What the deck wants to do, right?
Yeah, so it's a field card with barrier. It's always weird to see that. Permanent mono black Saiyan cards with a combo cost of 1 and 5k combo power in your hand, and battle area have their combo cost reduced by 1, which is nice because half of this archetype has a 1/5 combo cost.
There is a good reason why they do that, because majority of the time you give those cards to your opponent, you don't want them comboing it off.
Yep, that's true.
And then make it painful for them to combo it off. It's the same as Young Invaders.
Yeah, true. Permanent, when using your Foo's Overlord skill to choose a servant card, you can also choose cards in your opponent's battle area. You don't have to earn them.
Yes, they just need to have servant.
Yep.
It's a huge nerf to Vegeta, the green Vegeta, Majin Vegeta.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're playing a servant Overlord deck? Cool, I'll just keep playing my Foos to
I'll
Overlord
just be doing your stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty simple in terms of what it lays out, but I think the ramifications of it are going to be huge.
I mean, it's a very strong ability, right? So one thing that was pointed out in our lovely chat is that Overlord doesn't choose. So if your opponent has a card with barrier and servant, you can overlord it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's essentially a +2. You remove their battle card and you draw a card.
Especially if it's not one that you earn, right? Like if
you're
if
it's the one that you owned, majority of the time you give them the card to either draw a card or remove something else or something like that. So it is going to be a +2, which is
there's a lot of cool interactions I can't wait to see with this. I think it's going to again struggle against yellow because yellow has a lot of nice barrier cards. We do have some barrier removal, but it's not amazing for black. So I'm interested to see how this works. But like against aggro decks without barrier, this is going to be a huge deck. It's like, oh, you have servant now. Okay, cool. I'm going to overlord it. And a really cool way of using servant and overlord, to be honest. It's been pretty unimpressive apart from in the Vegeta deck. So it's nice to see it coming back, but with a different twist on it.
Garlic was there. It's not great, but it was there.
It exists.
Yeah.
It exists.
And I think there was also Baby, which was technically a Servant Overlord deck, but was never used for Servant Overlord interaction.
And then we have, if I'm correct, we have Super Saiyan Son Goku Berserk.
I have Fu assembling the strong.
Never mind. Let's talk about Fu assembling the strong if you want to take the battle away, because it also has a new mechanic on it.
Yes, it also has a misprint on it. So it's a 1 cost with 1 Z energy 4000 Z battle card with deflect and barrier, so it's very, very difficult to remove. Overlord limit 1 if your leader is an Evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black. And then it shouldn't have that colon at the end, it should be a dot.
Yeah.
So my understanding with this one is Overlord on the limit 1 is only for the copies of Fu assembling the strong, not for other cards with Overlord. But I might be wrong.
Fair enough.
I am not sure. But it's a card that's going to just sit there, you only play it once. It's very difficult to remove cards with barrier. And it's just going to keep on netting you that advantage with Prison Planet, right?
Yeah.
And then it has Z stack 1. So black Cumber battle card with energy cost of 2. When you put this card into play or on top of your leader from your Z deck, place up to 1 of the specified cards from your Z deck under this card. So you can put a Cumber Z battle card underneath it. It's a very interesting thing. It says here on top of your leader as well, which means I think we're expecting Majin Buu Z leader
100%.
That's going to do that,
yeah.
which is quite fun because I assume it's going to have different effects depending if you have Gohan, Gotenks,
Yeah.
etc. underneath it.
That's all I'm hoping.
My problem with this is that Z deck is already very limited. It's 7 cards only.
Mm.
And this is the Z stack is just going to be essentially taking additional card away to use this. And this one says Z stack 1. If you have a higher Z stack, it might be able to do more.
Yeah. Like, I'm imagining Boo probably has a Z stack of more than one.
I would not be surprised to see cards outside of the. Oh no, it needs to be from your Z deck. That's so weird.
Yes.
I wanted to say it's from outside of the Z deck, but no. Maybe a secret with Z stack 6.
That'd be crazy. But I'd also be all there for it.
A victory strike, right?
That would be insane.
But you need to have 5 specific characters there. You know,
True.
a Spirit Bomb or Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, lots of potential in the Z stat mechanic. And then we also have the activate main, which is 1 specified black to play up to 1 black Cumber card with an energy cost of 2 under this card.
Yes, so you ignore the Z energy cost, and you can play both of them on turn 2, right?
Yeah, so 1 energy, 1 Z energy to get your Fu, which brings out the Cumber underneath it, and you pay your 1 energy to bring out the Cumber.
Yes. It is an interesting mechanic. The Z stack has a potential. I just don't like the fact that the Z deck is so limited. I know why they went for 7, because 7 is that magic number in Dragon Ball, 7 Dragon Balls.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wished it was a bit more for the Z
I
stack
think
to make sense.
you never know, right? I mean, the deck increase happened when we went to Unison Warrior series, so maybe after the Zenkai series is done, they might look at it and be like, okay, we do actually need to have more cards in the Z deck.
Maybe.
It really depends how they go with it, unless they make it like archetypal, which is like, this seems to be quite archetypal, right? This isn't something you'd probably... I mean, then again, it doesn't stop you from doing this in any other deck. The only thing you don't get is the Overlord.
Yeah.
So, maybe. I'm interested. I'm actually kind of intrigued of how to use that in something else, but we'll leave that for another day.
The other thing I'm thinking is there might be a way to reuse your Z battle cards.
Potentially.
I think there is an option that would let you return them to the Z deck somehow, and I think that at that point the Z stack would be interesting. Maybe not this set, but I hope soon.
True. And then Super Saiyan Son Goku Berserk Instinct. So this is when Cumber's evil weird aura makes Goku go nuts and evil. Take it away.
So it's a free drop with 10,000 power, 0 cost 5k combo, which is an interesting one, and it's an SR, which means it can be, a very strong card, which we see it is. Double strike. While your leader is black, this card gets 5,000 power and servant, so it's a 25,000 double striker. And an auto limit 1. If a player's leader is black, doesn't need to be yours.
Nope.
When this card is used in a combo, choose up to 1 of your cards, and it gets 10,000 power for the battle. And play this card from your combo area in your opponent's battle area. And then activate main, limit 1, pay 1 black. If you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand.
Yeah. I absolutely adore this card. I think it's got tons of potential within Cumber itself, but also I think this is just a really scary black card to have.
I think the scariest thing about this is a 1-drop 25k double strike. Because then it's going to be in rest mode. You're not doing anything else with it unless you Xeno Evolve or you Union Potara.
Yeah, and this brings us on to the next point so for a while, we've been discussing this of what happens when they get to Prison Planet, because this is where we talk about heroes, canon, and people might get mad, but it's technically the super characters that are like this Goku and this Vegeta are the super versions of the characters. But then we obviously have things like Broly, right? So they gave it the BR tag. But then you also look at Superhero, they've got the SH tag. So then we were like, what are they going to do for Prison Planet, right? Because they won't just let them work with the super versions of the characters. So we were thinking either the PP tag for Prison Planet, but then that's you got Son Goku PP. and then it's the other thing is, and you can
But
see it
then
on
it's Heart of the
Gita.
Universe afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the ultimate seed,
Yeah.
universe seed. Sorry. So you can see it on Goku's gi here. So normally he would have the kanji for the turtle school.
Yeah, but it's a
It's
capsule
actually Capsule Corp. So that's where myself and a lot of the others we were discussing this with was thinking that they would get a CC tag for like Capsule Corp. But no, they've just kept it with their original in canon super characters. So whilst I don't think it's going to have major implications, the possibility for Vegeta shenanigans is definitely
Yeah, I
there.
was about to say Vegeta gets an access to a black energy.
Yes. So there is that. You know what I mean? So I don't expect to see it, but the fact that its potential there is a thing is
I
interesting.
mean, I want to say that it's not going to do much, but we've seen Vegeta being used here and there. And
Exactly.
this Goku, for his activate main, does not require your leader to be black.
Nope.
So you can play it as a 10k double striker for 1 energy if you have 3 or more energy.
Yeah. So
it's
very
also
interesting.
at the same time, it's a 1 energy card that puts a Goku on board. It doesn't get 7, it doesn't get 5k, so it doesn't get that 15k because your leader is not black. But it does give a good, walloping.
Yeah. And you never know if they make a generic black Zeta Vegeta leader that can go on top of a Vegeta.
Yeah.
Like,
that would be actually quite cool.
There is a lot of implications and interesting things that can come of this. Whether it happens or not, I don't think. Like, the intent is definitely not going to be to make it so that can happen. But it's Dragon Ball, and sometimes weird deck combinations happen.
I mean, we also do see the same design we have seen for a while now. All the super rares are usually in the Z series very generic, and so is this one. This one doesn't name Cumber or Evil Saiyan anywhere on it. It's just a good generic black card.
I think it's a real that. That's what I think bumps it into super rare. If this was just for Cumber, I'd say it's still good if it was just for a Cumber, but the fact that it is generic, and I love that if a player's leader is black. So that is just such a cool thing to have on the card, and yeah,
it's also very cool because you can use it as a sideboard card, right?
Yeah, there's so much potential in this card. It's almost like a pseudo super combo here. And yeah, I'm very interested to see what this card does in terms of the meta, and also just in terms of where will people try and fit this in. Because if you're going if we end up in a black meta, you could side this in as a non-black deck.
Yeah. The problem is you give it to your opponent then, right? But then it also gives you a card you can remove in a way. And some decks do you want your opponent to have cards to interact with.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting super rare. Next up,
Trunks, Prisoner from the Future.
Hey,
it's Trunks future.
Yeah.
Do you want to take it?
No. I was going to mention about how Trunks is in prison and he teams up with Cooler, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. So it's a 3-drop, 10,000 power again, 1 cost 5k combo. So he's one of those Evil Saiyan support. When this card is played, you draw 1 card and discard 1 card from your hand. And activate main. If your leader is Evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black, play this card from your hand in your opponent's battle area, so your opponent will get that auto. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck and add up to 1 My Future or Saiyan card, both black, and not a copy of this card with cost 6 or less to your hand. Not a copy of this card, but you can add another Trunks feature. As in Trunks feature that's not named Prisoner from the Future.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's not saying that it can't be a Trunks feature card, which we have seen in the past searches, that it can't search the same character.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It can search the same character, just can't search itself.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Also, this hits basically every good Overrealm Saiyan.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, 6 or less, right?
Yeah, so it can hit all of the good stuff.
The problem I have with this card, it gives your opponent ability to cycle.
It does, which is interesting, I will say. I don't know if that matters too much with the amount people draw.
Yes, but this is one of the cards you're going to play early, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a bit less cards in hand, or they might be still looking for something. Because you're not that deep in. Late in the game, it's absolutely amazing because of how much people draw in this game. They're down to 15 cards or less in the deck. Have a Trunks. It's not optional to draw a card and discard a card. It's optional for me to add. For you, it's not. And then I'll put it back into my deck and draw a card.
Yeah. I honestly don't think I understand the concern, but I don't think it's like, to be fair, like because you can, on the inverse of that, right? You might force your opponent into losing a card they don't want to lose. I mean, I guess they could just discard the card they drew, but
exactly. I think early on, the card with Activate Main is designed to be used early on, but then that auto might be problematic. I don't know. I might be wrong on this.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how it's used. I think. Because, I mean, the main thing is, right, you get to play it and it replaces itself. So even if your opponent gets a little bit of a benefit of it, it's not the end of the world. Because then you can easily just give it 7 and get rid of it.
Yeah, you will definitely immediately do that. And, it replaces itself. And then it still nets you that +2 with Overload that we were talking about, right? Because you remove the card from the board of your opponents and you get to draw a card. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. And I like the portrayal that the heroes go into your opponent's battle area. You make sure that there's a fight of Cumber versus the heroes.
Chef's kiss on terms of design, right? When we first started seeing this, and it was like, oh, this is going to be very interesting of a deck. I think our initial thoughts were, oh, it's just going to give your opponent's cards 7 and you'll 7 them off, overload them off. But no, they've made this super thematic, and the fact that we're so far into this now and we're still getting new design spaces, and again we'll touch upon it quickly, is that yellow Vegeta is again a new design space. It makes me so excited to this is what Dragon Ball Super card game does so well. Yeah. Next up, like father like son, we have Vegeta against all odds. A free cost 1 specified black 1/5 10k blocker, counter attack, limit 1, negate the attack and play this card in your opponent's battle area. Permanent. If your leader is a black Cumber, so you have to be awakened for this, you can activate this card's counter skill from hand without paying its energy cost. That's good. That's just really good.
I mean, your leader is already at 15k, so this one is not hitting unless they want to use cards from hand, which you are so happy for them to do.
Yep.
And yeah, they do get the blocker that they can use to block, but oh wait, I can
no barrier.
Just give it servant and just bottom deck it with my overlord. We good, yeah? We good.
Yeah.
This is a long way around to say that this card does let you, that all of those cards that you play in your opponent's battle area do say draw a card on them. Essentially, because you use overload on them.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
And also it stops you a bit from, you get to see more cards, but you don't deck out. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because they go to the bottom of your deck, right?
Because you don't lose cards from your deck, but you get to see more cards of your deck. Which I think is a very cool use of the servant mechanic in here. Because it's way easier to force this one to work than it was to do with all the other servant-specific decks.
Also, this is the best outfit for Vegeta, don't at me. I love Vegeta in this outfit.
I mean, it suits him.
Yeah. It's really cool. I really like this outfit. But yeah, again, just a really nice blocker. The fact that you have to be awakened to do it is kind of but as you've said and we've mentioned, you can awaken super early.
You'll always awaken on turn 2.
Yeah.
If they don't negate your attack.
Exactly, right? But even then, if they negate your attack or they attack you, this is the thing about the Z energy. There's always ways to build it.
Yeah.
Then we have not Prison Planet because we talked about it.
Vegeta.
Oh, this card.
Being.
Oh boy.
This is a card I do not.
This is the one I think has the most divisiveness to it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through the card. Right?
Yeah.
It's a 5-drop, 25,000, 1 cost, 5k combo. It has barrier blocker. It's also big. Like, it's big for no reasons. 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
Union Potara. You choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and set it to its owner's warp and draw one card. And then you use Son Goku and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
So as a part of playing this, you remove their battle card, which is amazing. It doesn't go around barrier, but you remove 2 cards and get to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
And this card is played from your hand in your opponent's battle area. And when choosing cards to use with this card's union skill from your hand, you can choose battle cards you own in your opponent's battle area. That means even if you want to hardcast this card from your hand, it will end up in your opponent's battle area.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, you union Potara using your opponent's cards, you play it there, you remove one of your opponent's battle cards because you activated the skill in your hand for the Potara, and you are the one drawing a card for the Potara, so that's fine. And then on auto, if your life is 4 or more, and your opponent's leader is Cumber card, so you need to be awakened. When this card is played, for the turn, if your opponent's Evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black and with cost of 8, is attacking and in the battle, you can't activate counter skills.
Mm-hmm.
You can still block, and you
Exactly.
have a big ass blocker with barrier.
Right. So the common way to deal with this, and it's not optimal, is you've got the option of Black Smirk, which is it's Black Smirk, or you can use the Evil Saiyan secret to get rid of it. But that also requires more commitment on top of committing to the 8-drop, which we'll touch upon later in the video.
Why?
I would have liked a better way of dealing with this.
Why
personally.
does this card have barrier?
That is the one thing I don't understand. I guess
I can
because
understand you don't want to make it too easy to put Servant and overload it off. Because
Mhm.
there's a lot of things on it. But then make the leader giving Servant a 3 or less.
Yeah.
And that way make another card that needs to deal with a 5-drop. Don't do... You can't remove it, you need to attack and they need to block. And even then, it's a 25k, it's easy to protect.
Yeah. True that.
Cumber is, I think, 30 or 25 himself.
I can't remember the stats. We'll get to it.
Well,
But yeah,
we get to him. It stops you from activating counters when your opponent attacks with 8-drop, and only 8-drop. Doesn't stop
Only
it on
8-drop.
leader, doesn't stop it on 2-drop, doesn't stop it on anything else. 8-drop.
So yeah, this is a turn. The turn
And
you do this.
4 more life.
The turn you do this. You need to go into. So you do Vegeta, you do Evil Secret, and then you do your 8-drop, and that's the way it is, and it is a potentially lethal turn. But yeah, if you don't have your secrets or Black Smirk to deal with this is a rough situation to go into.
Yeah,
you wouldn't play this unless you had your setup ready.
I mean, I know you get to draw a lot of cards, but there's also a chance that your secret is the last card in your life, and that's a problem.
Exactly. It's one of those things where the setup is. The payoff is great, but the setup is suboptimal in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I think there is a real I love this in terms of what they were going for, but that barrier really hurts me deciding whether I want to play this card or not. Right now, you kind of have to because there's not that many cards that you can utilize. But and I'm hopeful we will get more Cumber cards in the future, or cards of this typing to support Cumber in the future, that we can phase this card out.
I don't think it's good as a removal, but unless you have that specific turn, I understand it doesn't cost energy to play and all that stuff. But
yeah, I mean, you could have given it barrier so you couldn't serve it off, but just get rid of that blocker. It's
don't make it 25K.
It's a tough one.
I can understand the blocker because it stops the counters. But don't give it 25K.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a real tough
Make
one
it
on
a
this
10K
one.
blocker that can't be killed in battle and remove the barrier. It just feels weird.
It does. It's a weird card. I'm with you on that one. Then we Z Awaken, because yes, of course, we have a Z Awaken here. We have Super Saiyan 3 Cumber.
Z Awaken.
Yeah. This is Super Saiyan 3 Cumber. So he has 2 Z energy. At least I think this is Super Saiyan 3. Wait,
It has long hair, but he has long hair by default.
I know he
No,
does go Super Saiyan.
that's not Super Saiyan 3, that's Super Saiyan.
Because when he has Super Saiyan 3, he has a different color.
No, Super Saiyan 3 doesn't have eyebrows.
True. And then he's got Ape. We didn't get Ape Cumber. That's what we're missing. I knew we had one form of Cumber that we didn't have.
Yeah. But yeah, he has eyebrows, so it's Super
not
Saiyan.
Yeah. So this is just No, ignore me. I'm just being dumb. So 2Z energy, 1 specified black. When your life is 3 or less, black Cumber. So when this card attacks, draw a card. So he doesn't lose that, which is nice. And choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gains 7 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this is unlike the Awakened leader, which is an activate main.
Yeah.
This is now you have to attack to do it.
But then there's his activate battle,
which is very nice. Once per turn, if this card is in battle, so it's either turn.
Yeah.
Choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with 7 and use them in a combo in your combo area.
It needs to choose, so it doesn't go around barrier, yada yada.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
Being able to use 2 of your opponents. But we still have only one way to give servant, which is the leader. At the moment, from the cards we've seen. I think there is something else.
There is something else.
But we've seen only one that gives servant, so.
Yeah. I really like this leader. I mean, it's 20k, right? So it's even more defensive. You can use I've given you 7, right? If you've got their cards in rest mode and you've given them 7, it's not doing that. This one is just your opponent's cards.
Yeah, it doesn't opponent's battle cards with 7. It doesn't need to be something you own. You can stop any card from attacking.
Yeah. Also, okay, I don't know if this works. If I attack you and it had 7, can you use that attacking card in the combo? No, right?
Why not?
I don't know, because that would stop the attack, right?
Actually, that's a very good question, because you can't use a card card that is being part of the battle can't be used in the combo.
Yeah, so
the problem here is you're not using it in a combo. You are activating a skill, and I'm not. So this is not a game mechanic. So rules stop the game mechanic from happening. This one is a skill that makes it happen. I'm not sure if it stops it or not.
It's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
I would rule it that because it's a skill, you can do it and it just ends the battle.
Interesting implications of it. But we'll find out in time.
I like the fact that this is not one of those Z leaders that keeps on removing itself, because the Z deck is already very tight with the Foo.
With the Z stack. Yeah.
Speaking of Z stack, shall we talk about the 2-drop Cumber Captive Fighter?
Yeah, so this is the one that'll be in your Z deck.
Yeah. 2-drop with 2 specified black, 1 Z energy. You're never going to pay that energy for the card, I think. I mean,
nope.
You might, because it works in any deck, but still that Foo just makes it cheaper, right? When this card is played or attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with cost 4 or less and get servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. It's not once per turn.
Nope. So you bring this boy out, he gives them at 7. He attacks, you give something 7. You don't even care if that attack lands.
Yeah. It's a respectable 15k attacker, so you can choose when you play it. You're not necessarily going to play him on the turn 2 when you play Foo. It's actually a really good card. And
really nice design.
That depends how prevalent removal for barrier is going to be. But it might be that your Z deck is actually going to be just 2 Foos and 4 of those Cumber, rather than 3-3 split.
It could be. So yeah, I think there are fringe cases where you might pay the cost for it, but again, yeah, the optimal play is to use Foo.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up, we have Evil Saiyan Incipient? I don't know what that word is.
I have Evil Saiyan thirsting for battle.
Oh, never mind. Okay, Evil Saiyan thirsting for battle. Let's go for that one without Scott trying to butcher a word that he doesn't know what it means. This is a 1-drop. It's your searcher. So if your leader is an Evil Saiyan or Cumber, both black, when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add a Foo or a Saiyan card, both black, with an energy cost of 6 or less, or 1 Foo according to plan. Okay, that's named specifically, and as soon as we saw this, we were like, that's a Unison. Yeah. Among them to your hand and shuffle the deck. Really like it. Really solid searcher. It searches all the good stuff that is a black Saiyan. It searches all the good stuff that's a black Fu. It searches your Unison. Like,
The
what
fact
more
that
do
it
you want?
searches for the food card as well is important.
And then you just get rid of it, make it your Z energy.
Yeah.
It's a great searcher. Like, and then now Evil Saiyan.
Evil Saiyan Incipient Malice.
What does incipient mean?
I have no clue. I'm going to find it out for you.
And I'll run through the card. So he is our super combo of the deck. 0-10 combo, super combo. If your leader is a black card and your leader is a Z leader, or you have 2 or more energy, Z energy, or a Z battle card in play, when this card is using a combo, draw a card.
Oh, it's a Z super combo.
It is a Z super combo, yeah.
So incipient means developing into specified type or role. So he's developing into a malice.
Yeah, that's accurate. That tracks.
Yeah, so he's still in the process of developing into being that.
Yeah, that aura suddenly disappeared, and then he gets it back, and then he's like, "Oh, look, I'm an evil guy. Ooh, spooky." I love Cumber so much.
Sure.
Next up
is the 8-drop. Super Saiyan Cumber Berserker Barrage. He looks like any other Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 3 battle card in black.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Just put a mask on him. Oh, it's Paddock.
Yeah, exactly, kinda. So it's an 8-drop, 30,000 power, 0 cost 5k combo. If your leader is a black Saiyan card, any black Saiyan card. When this card is played, draw 1 card, then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, and those cards gain Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then you choose 1. Either this card gets double strike and dual attack, or it gets triple strike.
Mm-hmm. So this is one way to get around that Vegeta barrier, but I don't think it's great. As the block, like, you know what I mean? So like you swing with the double, and then they're forced to block it because they can't counter it, and then you go again, but that means you have to put them on the double strike range.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much better if you could just triple strike them.
For that Vegeta range, for that Vegeta effect to work, they need to have 4 life or more when the Vegeta is played.
It's energy. It's 4 more energy. Oh no, it's not. Oh shit.
4 more.
Oh, I thought it was energy.
No, I read it twice when we were talking about it. It is
4
4 more life, so you can't do this when your opponent's at 2 life, and then you just go for the game. You need to go for the game from 4 life. Which makes it even weirder that you can't remove it in any way.
Yeah. Yeah, it is relying on you to do the evil Saiyan then into this play.
So weird.
That is such a weird thing, yeah. That's just weird, yeah.
Activate main, limit 1, pay 2 black energy. If you have 4 more energy and your opponent has 2 or more battle cards in play, you play this card from your hand.
I like how it has your opponent has to have 2 battle cards in.
Yeah.
In play, sorry.
So you need to at least play like Trunks and something else.
Because this would be super scary. Because it's not restricted. All you have to do is pay 2 specified black and be at 4 energy. The fact that your opponent has to have 2 battle cards, I think, makes this more fair, because this could be hella scary.
But still, any black deck can play this. And what's scary about this card is if your opponent went all in, say they have a couple of battle cards on board in rest mode, you just play this, and this is a stun card. Because Servant stops them from
untapping.
Yeah.
It's a great card. It really slows down the thing, and yeah, like I say, the versatility of its double strike dual or the triple is interesting. Because like I say, if you've got that combo, I don't think there's a way to out it. Trunks God Sealing's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Also, the card it's a weird card because it's only scary the turn it's played.
Yes.
After that, it does nothing.
True. It gets converted into the Z energy. Yeah, that's true. That is also true. Unless, and maybe this is what they're planning, you can evolve into Ape on top of it.
Possibly, if we're going to see an Ape in one of the future sets, or tournament pack.
Drummer, or yeah, because like I said, the Z deck's kind of already used, so I can't see it being a Z deck card.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting SR. Again, it works with any Black Saiyans, and we have a lot of good Black Saiyans to choose from.
Doesn't need to be Black Saiyan only, so Vegeta is still an option.
True that, true that. But yeah, really cool. I like it as an SR. Cumber Furious Frenzy. This guy is from the Fast and Furious franchise. He's actually appearing in Fast 10. That may or may not be true. 6 drop, 2 specified black, 0/5. You're not paying it for 6 energy, put it that way. So it is searchable by all the cards we've seen today.
Yep.
Dual attack. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets servant till the end of your opponent's next turn.
So you can give 2 cards servant when it attacks. Dual attack, so it attacks twice. And auto
it's only on play.
Oh, it's on play. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's on the attack.
No. If your leader card is black and your opponent has 2 or more energy and a battle card, play this card from your hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy to fulfill. It's a 1 energy, 19k dual attacker. Helps put your opponent in that range, I guess. It's not necessary for the strategy, that's the thing, right? Because, yes, you can use it in the strategy, but you can also use overwhelm cards in the strategy. You don't need to evolve from him.
No. It's interesting again, right? Because if your leader is black, and all they have to do is your opponent has to have 2 energy and a black and a battle card in play.
Yeah.
And then you've got a 19 duel that will potentially tap down something for a turn. Like, I think this deck is going to be like, because black has got the ability to defend, and we'll see some cards to help it defend in a minute. Like, you being able to go into this and then servant down your opponent's cards until the end of their turn, like, that is huge.
Yeah, it stuns the cards, kind of like the Sin 4-drop used to do to a leader, right?
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of people are excited about this, which is nice to see. But I think that the amount of servant giving is going to be kind of vital to see how this deck plays. Like, yes, barrier stops it, but
it's a question.
Not everything has barrier
besides stunning. Because if it's just stunning, then it's, you know.
Yeah. So you need to be playing Cumber, but I think I see a world where this could be used as there's a really aggro deck in the format. Cool.
Well, I can using it in a different. I can see this Cumber being useful in a different deck than Cumber.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Sorry, that's what I was trying to get at.
Way more useful in a deck that's not Cumber. I think I agree with this one.
Yeah. Next up we have.
All according to plan. The Unison. So, permanent, while your leader is Evil Saiyan or Cumber, and you have a Fuzi battle card in play, reduce the specified cost of this card in your hand by 1. So on the turn 2, when you play the Fuzi battle card, you awaken, you get to play your Unison as well. On +2, on limit 1, choose up to 1 of your Evil Saiyan or Cumber cards, both black with cost 6 or less, and gain servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can have a dual attack 29. Okay, now that 6 drops makes more sense. And then -7, activate main, pay 1 black. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with servant and switch it to active mode and gain control of it, not until end of turn.
Nope, it's just I'm gonna steal a card for 7.
Yeah.
Which I think's nice. I mean, again, you have to choose, so barrier not gonna work, but I think it's interesting.
That the +2 is a limit 1.
Yeah, I wonder if it's to stop you just playing another foo for 1 and then +2ing again.
And then suddenly you have 1 Cumber with 4 servants.
Yeah.
Plus 40,000 power.
Yeah. But we're not done yet!
There's more. There's another Cumber card. Very strong. Skillless.
It exists and I'm happy.
Sure. Moving on.
Okay, so do we have Mai?
SS4 Son Goku.
Otherworldly Infiltrator. I love this boy. He's over on 5. He's critical. He replaces himself.
Yeah.
That
card is scary. I swear we had a card that was like 30k critical for over on 6.
We have the man on a mission, which is double strike crit.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that replaces itself.
Yeah,
Um,
but additional overwhelm
and it's
critical.
also cheaper.
I think that is scary in any overwhelm deck, right?
Yeah, like my immediate thought is like with all the Supreme Kai of Time support recently got,
Yeah.
this is great. I also think this is really great for God Trunks as well,
Yeah.
because it makes it a cheaper overwhelm to get the cards back into your warp, and it also puts more pressure on with critical.
It's also Goku Xeno, right? For all the Gogeta.
It's also Goku Xeno, so you can go into yeah. It can also do that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And now we have my ace in the hole. She's not a Saiyan.
no, she's unfortunately just an Earthling.
So 1-drop, 4k power, 0-5k combo. When she's played, add up to 1 Vegeta Supreme Gleaming from your deck to your hand and shuffle your deck.
You know what this reminds me of?
Why?
God Tempter Bulma.
Yes, but this one searches for one specific
Yeah,
card.
yeah. Yeah,
And
if she
also
doesn't
not
search.
a good card.
To be fair, it's because she brings the Potara earrings, which is
Yeah.
the whole narrative thing. But yeah, like search trunks. But again, I'm not too worried about that because the on-play order, you have the activate main. If you're Cumber or Evil Saiyan, draw a card and play it from your hand in your opponent's battle area. So they can search for the Vegeta.
That is
Vegeta.
an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I think she's amazing for that activate main, because then you put her back into your deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's great. I absolutely love her. Like, you know, if you desperately want to play the Vegeta, you can pay 1 for her, but you're not. You're going to use her for free to get a card back. You put her there, you give her 7.
She's Pot of Greed.
Yeah, she's draw 2.
Yeah. Pay
Yeah.
0, draw 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's awesome. I don't know what more to say. Mine's awesome. I like her a lot.
Yeah. We have
Next
another
up.
Fu. Scheming Overlord. Let me guess, he has Overlord.
Oh, he has Overlord. Wow, how did you see that coming?
Because he's scheming.
Ah.
So 5-drop, 20,000 power, 0-5, critical. Overlord once per turn, as all Overlord were in the past. When he's played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's non-black battle cards with cost 3 or less and gain control of it. You can run Ginyu in this.
You could.
But it needs to be non-black battle cards, so it can be one of the cards you give them.
Yeah.
And activate,
It's alright.
Activate main, pay 2 black if your leader is black Cumber, your opponent has 2 or more energy and a battle card in play. You play him from hand. I mean, 2-drop 20k critical with that additional Overlord. That's what made me also think that the Z battle cards, limit 1, is just for the copies of this card, not for generally that skill.
Yeah, I could see that. So I'm torn on this because you have to be awakened, but we've already established that's not too big of a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, in theory, I don't think it's terrible, but it has no protection.
I think it's mostly there for that second Overlord trigger. It's also a good threat. It's
20k crit, true. This is the one card that I really want to test with the deck and then really understand how it fits in there. Because to me, right, I see that 2 energy and I'm like, but there's so many other good 2 energy players in this deck. But again, if your opponent has 2 or more energy, so
the thing is this: you do get control of your opponent's battle card, not until end of turn again.
But yeah, you just steal it.
You just yoink the card. Early in the game, you're going to play 1 battle card to their board and then remove it with Servant. And then at the point where you start giving 2 or more cards Servant, you play Fu, and then you start removing them. And then you see Awaken, and then you play your 8-drop, you give everything Servant, combo 2 of them off, Overlord 2 of them off, and suddenly you're cooking with fire.
Yeah, and the fact that it's 0-5 is very nice as well.
Yeah. I think it's a good card, and I think it is fairly useful in the deck.
I don't disagree. I'm just struggling, without playing it. I know we run into this sometimes with me where I'm just like, I get it, right? I see critical, I see overload, I see you gain control of a card, and then I hit that two black, and I'm like, but now I'm kind of torn on whether I like it or not. And that's just something I do when I'm playing this game. I don't know why it's a habit, because like I like my Mech Cumber deck, it's all over the place with things like that, and then everyone's like, why are you running that? And I'm like, oh, but it works, and then it does work.
I think it's also we have a different approach to the game. Like when we were talking about Dark Broly, it's also me and the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
When I was running my Dark Broly, what I've seen was a hand control deck.
Yeah.
And general control deck. What everyone else seen was a stupid aggro deck.
Big smashy.
Exactly. So in here, I'm looking at this as a control player. This is an amazing piece for the control deck.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure this deck would work as a control. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Next up, we have a very interesting card. This, again, another card that excites me.
Why is this card in this deck?
Okay, this isn't meant for Cooler, right? Sorry, Cumber. This is not meant for Cumber at all. But this basically tells me the next set is when we're going to get Golden Cooler.
Yeah, we need a Golden Meta Cooler.
That'll be like... they might do it in the same set, but I think it might be a little bit after. But Evolution's Premonition, it's a free cost, 2 specified black, 0/5, 15k. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's Son Goku cards, ignore and Barry, send it to the return swap.
And for 1 black, if your leader is black, you get to play it from your hand.
Oh, this is so good. It's so weird, but it's so good.
But the thing is...
But it's so situational.
It's very situational, because it's not Son Goku BR, it's not Son Goku Superhero, I don't know if that exists. It's not Son Goku Xeno, it's not Son Goku Childhood, it's not Son Goku GT, it's just Son Goku.
No, exactly. I'm intrigued by it. The fact is, if you're playing a black leader, you can pay it for 1, and I think that's going to be the key thing here. Because then I think you're going to evolve into Golden Cooler on top of it.
On the Son Goku archetype?
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. And then we get into the extra cards. Only 2 for black this time, which is, well, technically 3 because Prison Planet, but yeah.
You're never going to play or activate Prison Planet by paying its cost.
No, because it's like a 7 cost, I think.
Yeah, with 6 specified black.
Good luck. So which one is it? Is it Evil Aura Overflow or is it? Okay. 2 cost, 2 specified black counterplay. If your leader is a black Cumber, so you have to be awakened, but again, we've established it's not a problem. And you discard 1 card from your hand. If the battle card being played has an energy cost of 4 or less, play it in your battle area and it gains 7. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie.
I take mine.
Yeah.
It's not that it stops it from being played. It plays it in your battle area, so all the on-play effects are yours.
And we also know, right? Like the 4 or less, like 420k, like that's kind of the break point of the game now. That's the 4 drops that come down and try and change the game. This is a really good answer for yellow. Like when they go, oh, I'm just gonna riposte.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Imagine, I activate my X evolve on the Trunks. Sure. Evil Aura Overflow. I take
mine now. So I think this is a really cool card. I definitely wouldn't run it at 4. And it is a card that I could see.
Sideboard would have an option to put it up to 4 against certain decks, because like
this is going in the sideboard. That is without a doubt.
Trunks Vegeta, you want 4 of those.
Yes.
Because then you just yoink their 3 drops with a 1 drop underneath it.
Yeah. But yeah, a great card for an uncommon. Again, locked to Cumber, which is, I think, fair, because if just generic black had this, that'd be stupidly good. And then finally, Explosion of Malice. Our negate of the deck is a 1-drop, 1 specified black counter attack. If your leader is Cumber, so again, you got to be awake. Again, not a problem. Negate the attack. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gains 7 until the end of your next turn. you're not the biggest fan of it.
It's a 1-drop negate the attack.
True.
That giving servant is, we have already so many ways to give servant. It doesn't
True.
do anything during their turn.
Nope.
Because the cards with servant just can't be restood in the charge phase.
Yeah, that's fair.
Doesn't stop dual attack, doesn't stop triple attack.
Hmm.
And if you do it on the card that hasn't attacked yet, you just gave them 10,000 power.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, interesting.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, just a one tap negate. Yeah, I like it for theme, but I guess
I like it for theme, but it doesn't do much for the deck because it's only until end of your next turn, not their next turn.
Yeah, so
Because
you
at the end of their next turn. Oh god, the card would be amazing because it stops 2 attacks.
Yeah, because it stops and then it stops them untapping. Yeah,
exactly.
Hmm.
But as it is, I don't see Power Burst is so much stronger. Especially you have Maya as a target and you have 1-drop Cumber as a target.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely Power Burst over Explosion of Malice. Just giving that 1 servant doesn't do much.
Yeah. So overall, a very interesting and very different direction, and I'm excited to play with it.
Yes. How many SSB Vegeta Supreme Gleaming are you going to be running in your list?
That is TBD, but right now it's probably still 4.
Is it?
Because at best it's more combo to get it. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to mess around with it. Because I still think that potential there is really strong to just go Evil Saiyan. Okay, it's no longer a problem.
But even
Triple
then,
strike
I would
the
run
game.
just 2 because Maya can grab it at any point in the deck.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
It's just a barrier. I think that's...
It's a very strange card. It's a very strange card. But everything else in the deck, I really vibe with. That Goku just, I think, is phenomenal. Actually, both Gokus we've got are phenomenal. The Xeno one and the Berserk one. I hope we see more like Berserk style cards. I don't think we will.
Berserker is really scary.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, decks like Vegex suddenly got a 1-drop 25k double strike.
Yeah. That's
All
a really
those
good point.
decks suddenly have a 1-drop 25k double strike. Yeah, it only attacks once.
Yeah, but doesn't matter if the attack gets through.
That's all that matters, right? Sometimes it only needs to connect once.
Yeah.
All in all, I think it's an interesting design. They definitely took the old design that they tried to make work and they never made it work. Because all the Overlord decks were better off not using Overlord.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when they tried to give Mechikabura Overlord and it just didn't work. I mean, there is options now for maybe those cards to get put in this deck as well. Because as far as I understand, and I'm going to double check this now before I'm wrong.
Prison Planet only lets you Fu Overlord.
Damn it!
That's why that
Damn it,
Bandai! Is so important.
Damn you, Bandai! Okay, that makes me want to play that one more.
Because it needs to be Fu Overlord. That's why I was.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I'm not going to lie. I was kind of expecting Unison to have Overlord as well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it is
That's
what
odd.
it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, I think just overall a very interesting, cool deck. Is it good? I think so.
I think it's going to be quite good, yes.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate thing we're here to answer. Is it good? We think yes, but we've been wrong before. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you made it this far, guys, do hit that like button. It does help us with the algorithm, and we are trying to grow in 2023. I almost said 2022. We're not in that year anymore. We've time traveled. And let us know what your favorite black card revealed is. We'll be back once yellow's been fully revealed. But in the meantime, we have One Piece content, we have Battle Spirit Saga content, and whatever else we want to talk about, I'm sure will be up on the channel. One Piece Odyssey's coming out, and maybe I'll make a video on it because I'm really excited about that game.
Maybe you should stream it.
That would require a lot of set because I'll be playing it on my Xbox. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll stream One Piece Odyssey, and you can watch me kill the same penguins for 5 hours while I'm grinding levels. Because that's the kind of.
I'm not getting the game because next month is Hogwarts Legacy.
Is that? I don't know why I thought that was like end of the year.
Nope.
2023. It's going to be a wild year, everybody. Stay tuned to the channel. I have been Scott Seven, joined by Loki Smith. We have such an exciting year lined up for you.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff happening at the moment, and a lot more stuff going to be happening. The channel is alive again. We have
very much so, and
happening. So,
shout out to Matt as well. He's been doing a great job.
Matt from
shout out to
Plandana.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out his Twitch as well because he streams, I think, 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah, so really great guy, really amazing One Piece content. Couldn't have asked for a nicer guy. So yeah, we'll see you next time.